That's right, it's that time of the month again where we grab a fistful of Joes. So, stick around. Dorks and dorkettes, and welcome to It Came From My Side of the Laundry Room. My name's Rob, and in this episode we are going to grab another fistful of Joes. This is the show where I reach into one of my bins of G.I. Joes and we grab a fistful of them, we take a look at them, we review them, we play with them, we just have a good time. So, without further ado, let's grab a fistful of Joes. Joe! Okay, folks, here we go. I'm going to reach into the bin here and see what Joes we can pull out. Okay. We got some right over here. So let's dive in and see who and what we got. First up, we have 25th Anniversary Firefly. I have to be honest, folks. This was the first Firefly I was ever able to own. He was a figure I wanted so badly as a kid, and I was never able to get my hands on one. Wow, it even opens up just like the original. I don't know if you can see the detail here, because if I hold it closer, it'll be a little bit blurry. So, you got pliers and a little hammer, got a wrench and some different wrench heads and bits here for his ratcheted wrench. Some pockets, looks like a phone system. And speaking of phones, here he comes with his little phone just like the original one did. That's awesome. Comes with a handgun that goes into a holster here on his side. Come on, it's got to fit better. There we go. Like a glove. And he comes with this submachine gun with foldable stock. That's pretty awesome. And with all 25th anniversary, he comes with a stand with his name on it. So let's put those aside and let's take a look at the figure itself. One day I hope to get a better camera that I can get some better close-ups, but for now, this is a lot better than how I used to do it, where I used to hold them up to the camera while sitting here and you could not make out anything. So, hey, at least we're in a step in the right direction. Great posability, like all the 25th anniversary. Give him his machine gun here. Like I said, this was the first Firefly I was ever able to own. I since have remedied that and got an original, but just to have him, yeah, I felt like I was so lucky to finally have him. And what year was that? 2007 or whatever? Now, he's not as dark color schemed as the original, but this is still pretty spot on, very nice.
You can't take his bandoliers off. Those are attached. And they're very high up on his collars, which I wish they were a little bit more less profile, because that looks very, very uncomfortable. Like, huh? What was that? Oh crap! Pulled a pin on my grenade with my chin. Ah! A grenade here on his belt. Great detail, though. I mean, you gotta love the detail on the 25th anniversary line. But solid figure. Like I said, my first Firefly just took 20 some years, but I was able to get one. And fast forward to 30 some years and I was able to get the original one. But anyway, Firefly 25th anniversary line. So let's put him back in his bag with all of his accessories and his stand, and see what else we got. So we'll put him over here out of the way. And next is a 25th anniversary Cobra officer. We have the file card, because I believe he came in a 2-pack, hence the pre-cut out file card. Has a stand with his name on it. And it looks like I've played with this already. He's already holding his AK. Has his dagger in a sheath here. And the one thing I adored about the Cobra soldier figures is the removable helmet. Now, it comes off very easy. Oh, he's making me a liar. That's cool. He doesn't want to get rid of it. Oh, there he goes. Having some trouble with the arms not wanting to be superposable. And his hand is a little malformed. Got that a lot with the 25th anniversary because they put rubber bands around the hands. And sometimes it seemed like the mold, wasn't dry. The plastic wasn't dry because you would get the rubber band indentations on some of the hands. And the hands would be a little malformed. So, like I said, he has his AK, his dagger, his helmet. But this is a great interpretation of the Cobra officer. Again, like with Firefly, this was the first Cobra soldier of any kind I was ever able to get, because I was never able to get one as a kid. I think the Vipers were the first foot soldiers I was ever able to get. Never got a Crimson Guardsman either. But anyway, his webbing looks very good detail. It is actually, you can take it off. You can see there. I'm not going to. But it's a nice application. Goes down into the belt, webbed up there. Has pouches. Has these nice buckles that they've painted. Excuse the sound in the background. That was the dryer ending. See if I can edit out that sound in the editing process. But if you do hear it, that's just the dryer saying it's done. Everything's dry. But very nice figure. Like all the 25th anniversary. And I've pointed it out before. It's taken me so long to warm up to the 25th anniversary and to include them as real G.I. Joe figures. I mean, growing up, or I shouldn't say growing up, but when these came out and I was collecting hardcore, it was all about the original. I love these figures and I got them, but it just wasn't the same. Now it's been many years since they've come out, and they're almost just as vintage as the other stuff. So here we go. I actually had to just swap something because it was a figure we've already covered in a previous episode. So we're going to look at the Bat. And wow, this is a great figure. I mean, back in the day, it was like a lunicular, I think you call it, sticker here that when you would move it, it would kind of look like it would have depth to it and you could see the machinery in his chest, but now they actually molded it in. Again, I'm sorry for the distance from the camera, but the closer I get, the more blurry it gets. So, like I said, we actually have molded machinery pieces in his chest now. I have his claw on, and look. Isn't that cool? Actually opens and closes now. Back in the day it didn't. It was just a static claw. But he has a gun on his hip here, or on his side I should say. Color scheme like the original with the yellows, which look great. Even the yellow Cobra symbol looks neat. So let's pop this off and take a look at, see, he comes with a regular hand. Comes with, in the original, was a flamethrower. I guess you could say this is still a flamethrower or maybe a laser gun of some sort. Oh, no, this is the flamethrower here. Sorry, I should have looked before I said. So we'll say that's like either an auger or a laser gun, and then this is the flamethrower. But the paint applications make it look like he is a well-weathered man of metal. His head is a little bit thinner than the original. I wish it was a little bit more bulky like the original, but still really awesome. They should have included a third peg to put his extra arm in. But I dig him with the claw, so we'll keep the claw on. The claw. And here, he can be like helping a buddy out. Need a hand? Ha 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 ha. But like 25th anniversary, he comes with his stand. But yeah, this is an awesome version of the character. Would have loved to get more of these, but this was the only... Sorry if he is off camera. Would love to get more of these, but this was the only one I could find at the time. But this would have been an awesome army building character to have. I mean, I would love to have like a half dozen of these dudes. But anyway, back in the bag with him. Now, original Roadblock. I don't have any of his gear. I found him at a thrift store just like this. It was a place where you could get a bag of stuff for $1, like a big paper shopping bag. Clothes and home goods and toys and what have you. And yeah, I found him there, threw him in the bag, probably got some vintage clothing as well. And this was probably back in the early 90s. But yeah, a character I always wanted as a kid. I got the version 2, loved that one, but never had version 1. Wish I had his gear with him, but still awesome to have him. And it's great that the classified Roadblock they're going to be re-releasing in his like classic attire. So I'm really excited about that. And I've been holding off on getting one, but I think I'm going to finally get one if I can find it. So not much to see here. You can see that his backpack broke off in his back. If I wanted to, I could Dremel that out, but I mean, this is just history for the dude. I mean, he went through a war and probably in some kid's backyard or whatever, and this is the price he paid. So this is a story that this toy has, and I'm happy to keep that there. So here's Roadblock. Put him back in his little baggie. And this last one, as I glance over, is an awesome figure that I always wanted as a kid because of the comic series, and they never released it, but they did in the early 2000s. And that is Tracker Quinn. Awesome character from the comics. Here's his file card, and doesn't have a specific date on the fine print here as to when it was released. See if the figure has it on here. Well, this says 1991, but that could just be the leg piece, I guess, because this was part of the Joe vs. Cobra line that came out. But that's freaky. As leg says 1991 Hasbro. So let's put his weasel skull necklace on. Comes with his big machine gun. And the one thing I love about the Joe vs. Cobra line was that you never knew what style of Joe you were going to get, because they released these classic versions, you know, with the rubber band and everything. Excuse me. But they also released new sculpts, new designs, that it was like they were using up pieces that they have for some, creating new for others. It was just kind of a crapshoot to what you would get. So he also comes with a tripod, this very nice looking machine gun, and one of his sled dogs. This is actually a repaint of Order from Law and Order to be all black. But great figure. Like I said, loved them in the comic growing up. Wasn't in that many issues, but enough that he left an impression. I wish I knew off the top of my head what figures they used to make him. I mean, it's a new head sculpt with fur-lined collar around his neck. So that part isn't molded into the figure. So it was like they used what pieces they had, needed fur, so they just molded it onto the head itself. Has double bandolier here. As you can see, his bottom of his coat doesn't match the top, so that's kind of odd. Kind of has very generic legs. Like I said, they're dated 91. But awesome. Awesome figure. Would love to see a new version. I mean, I doubt he's popular enough to get a classified version, but it would be pretty neat. But anyway, that was just a quick fistful of Joes. I hope you enjoyed this episode, so back to me.
Okay, back to me. I hope you enjoyed that episode. I know I did. I just love having the opportunity to take a look at my G.I. Joe figures and play with them. I wish I had more of an opportunity, but, you know, they're in the boxes kind of put aside, and I really don't have the time to go through them. So I really appreciate doing this show. I appreciate you guys watching it, and I just appreciate playing with my G.I. Joes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I love getting back to everybody. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this, or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe. And if you hit that little bell icon, you'll be notified whenever there's a new episode. So anyway, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad, and stay dorky!